101.3 Nigeria in Port Harcourt, the number one top news and sports radio station in Welcome. Conversation does continue. I'm Dari, we've got some time to go before 2 p.m. I did mention a while ago that about the bottom of the hour, I'll be having a guest in the studio. We're discussing something that's on offer all the way to 2 p.m. I do welcome to the show right now Usman Arjaut. He's our director with Higher Study PVT Nigeria Limited. Usman, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon,
to the show. Well, the name of your company, Higher Study PVT Nigeria Limited, gives an insight already into what you do, what you're about. But I imagine you could explain a little more what exactly Higher Study PVT Nigeria Limited is all about.
Thank you very much. Higher Study PVT Nigeria Limited is an educational consulting firm. We're into international student placement, and we are registered here with Corporate Affairs Commission to facilitate admission for people that are aspiring to further their education, either at undergraduate or even to PhD level.
All right, so you help people who want to go abroad or overseas, travel, who want to go study, not on holiday.
Who wants to go study, because we are in-country representatives of these universities. We have binding agreements with them. Okay. So we promote the universities on behalf of the schools. And these schools we're talking about, they are accredited abroad.
Okay. So can you help a person who wants to go study anywhere in the country, in any university? Can you help them all there?
Not any universities. Schools? It has to be the universities that we work with, that we have binding agreement with. Like I said, that we are in-country representative. So that means that we have some sort of agreement with them.
All right, these schools that you represent, which countries are they in?
What happened is I don't want to talk too much today, because we've been coming often and often. So the purpose of coming today is to talk about just 2 countries and 2 schools that we work with. So I'm here to promote education in Budapest. University of Buckingham is a British school in Budapest, and is a business and management school where one can build their career in business and management. We have one satellite campus in Budapest and the other one in Austria. And these countries are actually among the Schengen states. So that means that if you have visa to study in any of these countries, then it's visa free for you to enter any of the 28 states that are part of the Schengen.
Right, so if I get it correct, you're saying that it's one school, but they have campuses in 2 different
It's a
countries.
British school,
Okay.
University of Buckingham in UK.
Okay.
So they have satellite campus in Budapest.
Okay.
Their business school is in Budapest, and the other one is in Austria.
That's Budapest in Hungary, right?
Budapest is the capital of Hungary, and Austria is another state in Europe.
Okay. All right. So how exactly do you go about doing this, and what programs particularly are on offer in this university?
Like I said it's business and management.
Both of them.
Both of them, they are business and management.
Okay.
You know, University of Buckingham, they have 3 different arms. We have the law school, we have the business school, and we have the medical school. So it's a business and management school that we are promoting now on behalf of University of Buckingham.
All right. So what courses exactly are on offer?
Like I said, business and management, human resource management, international business management.
Business and management, I imagine, is an overview of the programs that are on offer. Well, specifically now, what programs?
Like I said, business and management school. Business school means that all courses that are under business, like human resource, like
now you're listing them.
yeah, like human resource,
okay.
like international business itself,
Okay.
like international relation, business and diplomacy for undergraduate program. And for the PhD, we have economics. You can do PhD in economics, and you can also do PhD in international affairs.
All right. So what's the criteria for going to Buckingham University than Budapest or in Austria?
Yeah, it's the same thing for Nigerians too. If you want to enter university in Nigeria, let's start from the undergraduate. People that just finish writing their work now, that are expecting their result. When their result comes and they make their 5 credits, they are qualified to enter the foundation program. So you need to have 5 credits, as we all know. You also present your testimonial from your secondary school, international passport, the Barata page, and also motivational letter. These are the things that qualifies you to get admission for the undergraduate program. And there's a selling point. Our school is not just like every other school. As we all know that dollar has gained so much weight, devaluation of our currency. We propose to our school that we should see how we can make this tuition affordable. So what happened, there are a lot of scholarship options for international students, not only Nigerian, international students. If these students are coming for our program for undergraduate, like I said, you have your 5 credits complete, you are to pay just 5,000 euro, which can be paid twice because there are 2 semesters in a session. Unlike if you go to University of Buckingham directly in UK, you'll be paying up to about 10,000 pounds.
So this 5,000 euros is for what?
Covers the entire program. That means 1 year program, foundation program, which UK schools normally run.
All right. So how about your services?
For this particular.
Hold on, please.
Okay.
I imagine you are facilitating this.
Exactly.
So besides the 5,000 euros, do you have a charge that you take for the service?
That's a very good question. Probably maybe you didn't hear me very well. Like I said, we are in-country representative of this school. We have the exclusive right. So that means that we don't charge. Students are to pay application fee, as we all know. Application fee of 200 euros. Once they pay the application fee of 200 euros, the admission is going to be processed, and within 48 hours, the offer letter will come. The students are to pay the tuition fee themselves to the school, and we are going to guide the students on the visa requirements and all that. The university pays us for our own job.
All right, so this application fee, 200 euros, who's that? That's paid to the university as well?
It can be paid to the university directly, but the university says that since we have the in-country representative here, there is no need of going through the hassle of paying the 200 euro to the school because of bank charges and all that. So they can pay the equivalent to us, and we draft their invoice, the receipt, and we send to them. And another thing again is that the money is actually used to process the application. So if the application is not successful, the money is refundable.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay. Is there an age limit for those?
Yeah,
to take advantage of what you're
for undergraduates, you know, as we all know, if you are 15, it's a bit low. But if you are 16, it's still very, very okay. What we do is that you have to get a consent letter, an authorization. We usually have a barrister that drafts the consent letter on behalf of that person. The parents, we send the draft to them and they get it signed. But the thing there is that the students will have to stay on campus until they clock 18, because normally students have the option of staying off campus or on campus. But because of the fact that they are below 18, they are going to stay on campus till they clock 18. Everything that they need to do, like opening an account in the bank and all that, has to go through a foster parent, because we usually get them a foster parent because of they are still below 18. And that is for undergraduates. Now let's move to graduate program. Our graduate program has a lot of packages. What happened is the tuition fee for the graduate program, the postgraduate program, which is the masters. The masters itself is just 1 year, unlike other countries. If you're going to Canada or you're going to US, Australia, in these countries, masters are usually 18 months, but in our own school, being a British school, you have to spend just 1 year, so there are 2 semesters. The tuition fee is 9,700 euro in Budapest, but if you choose to go to Austria, the tuition fee is about 11,700. So we usually promote that of Budapest because it's cheaper. The student is not, or the applicant is not allowed, is not mandated to pay the full tuition. They can pay it in 2 installments because there are 2 semesters. So that means that you pay just 4,700 plus the one-off registration fee that you pay when you are paying your school fees. But the advantage this has is that in most of the countries that we've been working with, because I happen to have been traveling all over the world, and I know that when you are doing your masters, most people are not usually opportune to work full-time. They can only work part-time. But in this our own case, we have about 300 partners, the likes of ExxonMobil, the likes of Chevron, PwC, etc., etc. I mean, multinational companies. They are our partners, and they come to our school to scout for students in order for these students to have what we call practical hands-on experience. So that means that we structured our classes in such a way that the classes are being held in the evening and weekends, so that it's going to be flexible for the student to work during the working hours, then go to class in the evening. So you see the beauty of it. And after the 4th semester, you are paid for the 1st semester. You know you're going to have some savings because this company are going to be paying you, even though your visa status is still still a study visa. You're going to be paying some peanuts, maybe like 500 or 600 depending on the company. So you'll be able to have some savings before you complete the 1st semester. So by the time you are going to pay the 2nd semester, which is 4,700, you must have saved maybe about 2,000 euro. because Budapest is actually, Hungary, let me use the word Hungary now so that people will know, is actually the most affordable in the whole of Europe when it comes to living expenses. We are talking about someone spending about 300 to 350 euro in a whole month for feeding and accommodation. That is the cheapest in the whole of Europe, because if you are considering Austria, all this Germany, you go to Germany, you go to Finland, all the Scandinavian part, and the capital of these countries are very, very expensive. For instance, in Finland, when I went to Finland, I rented an apartment in Helsinki, and you're going to pay up to about 600 euro. You can see how much that is. That is aside from feeding. So what am I trying to say? We actually promote this Budapest because it's affordable, it's most affordable, and you are going to have the opportunity to work full time while you are studying. And another selling point again is that when you now finish this the 1 year program, the company, if they see that you are competent enough, they are going to retain you. They will retain you, and the status of your visa will be converted from study visa to working visa. So when it has been converted to working visa, and by the time you work with this company for about 2 years, is in their law. I'm talking about immigration rules now. If you have about 2 years working experience in Budapest, you are entitled to apply for what we call permanent residency, PR. So it's as good as people that want to go to Canada or to Australia, because these are countries where one can migrate when you go there to study.
All right. Those who would want to take advantage of what you're offering, would they have to write any external examinations?
Okay, you see, that's another selling point. Number one, Nigeria is an English-speaking country. I know that some of these countries like Australia, like Canada, some of the schools will insist that you need to write maybe GMA, GRE, IELTS or TOEFL. But this our own school, we waive it for them. You see, that is the advantage because of the fact that we stand as a bridging gap. So we've educated them enough that they don't need to write any exam at all. What matters most is that you have your graduate certificate, you have your academic transcript, and your performance is very, very good. You know, the transcript, these are the things they look at your performance as you are improving on your, because some people, maybe their first year or second year, their CGPA might be very low, but in their third year and the fourth year, they might pick up. So all these things are the things they look at, and the student is going to write what we call motivational letter. And we are talking about applicants that are going for masters. You know, most of these applicants, they must have had maybe 1 or 2 years experience, working experience. All these things are being put together to, as in they are what we use as a yardstick, determining factor to eventually get the admission for the person. And we usually call them to do an interview. So based on what they tell us on the interview, it's an assessment for us, and then we send the report to the school. So if the interview is successful, we tell the school to grant the admission. So it's as simple as that. So you don't need to write any exam at all.
Right, on the average, what's the timeline between when the person first approaches your organization, between then and the time they're offered admission and they get to leave for school?
Okay, let me tell you how it works. Number one, the university is a business school, international business school in Budapest. I know that some of the listeners, they are hearing us out there, and they might apply to the school directly. So even if they do, the school will revert them back to their in-country office in Nigeria here. So when they come to the office, and we tell them the criteria, the admission criteria, and if they meet the admission criteria by attending their document, and they pay the application fee, we are going to interview them. Based on the interview, then within 48 hours, if the interview is successful, within 48 hours, the offer letter will come out, and in the content of the offer letter, the student will know the next step to do. And what is the next step? The next step to do is either the student to pay the full tuition fee or to pay for the first semester. Like I said, there are 2 semesters. But we told the school that they should put it in such a way that students can pay the money twice. We want it to be flexible so that they can pay the money twice. So they can pay just for 1 semester, which is about 5,300 plus the one-off registration fee, like I mentioned, of 900 euro. That makes it 5,300. So immediately the student pays the money, they should send us the proof of payment, the what's it called? The proof of payment, the tellers copy. They should copy the office. When they copy us, then we are going to send it to the school. So as soon as the university receive notification of the money that has been paid, they will now issue an invoice, and also they will send visa supporting document. So let's say give and take. If you pay the money this week, within 5 working days, the money ought to have hit the account over there. So once the money hits the account over there in 1 week, then the following week, the school is going to courier the hard copy of the visa supporting document and also the invoice. And in the visa supporting document, it will be stated that the student has made arrangement for accommodation, because we are also doing this to make it easy for the student in order to strengthen their visa application. Because if the consulate office do not see a very strong tie between this applicant and the school, the success rate of the visa is usually very, very low. But if the school has stated on the visa supporting document, in their language anyway, that the student has already made arrangement for tuition, for accommodation as well, even though we know that they have not done that. But the idea is that when they get over there, they can choose whether they should stay on campus or off campus, which is still going to be done via our representative in IBS. So when such document is sent to the student and the invoice, then we are going to do what we call a visa interview appointment, where they want to help them to book the appointment for their interview. Then we now orientate the student on what and what is going to, the likely question that is going to be asked. And we are going to do visa counseling. And when that is done, then the student will go for the interview. So after the interview and the student has submitted their documents, then the visa processing time is just 14 days, 14 working days. So give or take, if students apply now, within 1 month, and he paid the school fees, within 1 month, he has done the interview. So that means that in 14 days, the visa will be out. The decision of the consulate high commission will be out.
Oh, just to clarify, the money spent for the application and then school fees, all of that doesn't cover accommodation?
No, accommodation is usually different. Okay. If you're going anywhere in the world to study, tuition is usually different from accommodation. Accommodation in our own school, like I said, is a bit higher compared to if you stay off campus. On campus, 2-man room is about €445 per month. And 1-man room is €600 per month. And you're going to have all the facilities, the internet, free Wi-Fi, blah, blah, blah. But if you choose to stay off campus, you'll be looking at about $350 per month, including feeding.
Including feeding?
Yeah, off campus.
Okay. Now, this accommodation arrangements for it, can that be made from here before the student
For
leaves,
accommodation, no. That's what I'm saying, that we make it so easy for them and flexible. They are only going to pay for tuition here. And when they send the visa supporting document, we state it that the student has made an arrangement to stay on campus, even though we know the student has not paid. We know that when the student gets over there, he can pay the money either to stay on campus or off campus.
All right, now I'm imagining that there are some persons listening right now who want to take advantage of this opportunity. Okay. How can they reach you?
Yeah, they can reach us on 081 28 22 6630. I repeat, 081 28 66 22 6630.
Let's call it again.
Let me call it again. 081 28 22 6630. And our office is located at plot 282, opposite Shell Array there on Aba Road at Rumukrushi bus stop. I repeat, plot 282, opposite Shell Array there, the residential on Aba Road at Rumukrushi bus stop. The deadline of this admission is this July 15th. So as from July 15th, all applications will be closed for September intake. We have 2 intakes in a year, September and January, spring and fall.
So what if a person is thinking, okay, I can't go September, I want to go January. Can they start the process now as well?
Yeah, they can start the process now, but it has to be after the deadline of the application of this September, which is as from July 15th. Okay. We'll start taking the applications for January as from July 16th upward. And the January program is for people that want to do a foundation program. There's something we call, we have foundation program for undergraduate, and we also have foundation program for masters. For those that have some deficiency, probably they came out with a pass in their graduate level. Okay. But if such student even graduate with a pass or third class, if such student has working experience, minimum of 2 years, and he has proof to show for that, and it has to be in the same field, that can also be used to as a determining factor.
Well, does PVT, pardon me, Higher Study PVT Nigeria Limited, do you help folks who want to go to some other countries?
Yes, we do. In Canada, we have binding agreements with schools in Canada, Australia, UK, like I said. But I said this morning, I have come here to talk about Budapest because it's a matter of utmost priority, one. And two, for Canada, the deadline for September is already over, except those that want to go to, for January intake. And this is the best time to start promoting education in Canada for January. But being that we have limited time for this Budapest, that's why we decided to come and talk about Budapest for the last time. We've been coming to Nigerian Info over and over now for Budapest. So this is the last time we're going to talk to people about Budapest on air.
Oh, also, I'm quite certain that there are young persons, parents or guardians who are thinking this is a brilliant idea, would like our child or our ward to go to Budapest, to go to Austria, go study at Buckingham University. It's a great thing, but we can't afford 5,000 euros or more.
5,000 euro is not much, my brother, because...
No, hold on. They're saying they're thinking they can't afford.
Oh, okay.
Maybe for you it's not much. I'm sure for a number of people it is much. Are there scholarship options, opportunities available to those who may not be able to afford it?
Number one, let's break down this money we're talking about. 5,300 euro. How much is it? Because if you are paying school fees, you're not going to go through the black market. You're going to go to bank. And bank rate is 370 something, I believe, in euro, or 380. If you multiply that, it's not even more than 2.2